Welcome to the Blue Cup in the Attic. No portion of the Blue Cup in the Attic may be used without the expressed written consent of Kimmy Wyatt. Hello. This Blue Cup in the Attic is called Gang Stalking. Is she dead or alive? And I must say I've attempted to record this twice. I don't know what happened the first time, but the second time I only had 5 minutes left on my phone, this particular phone, and I guess must be true. When your percentage is that low, when it gets to 5%, it will stop recording. I did not ask it to stop recording. I was 37 minutes in and it was going really well. So you know how that goes. Please join the YouTube channel, you guys. Once you click the subscribe button, go ahead and click the notification bell so that you will be one of the first to get notifications of new vids that I post. I have playlists and I'll have over 260 videos as of today. And the Blue Cup in the Attic is not all that I do. Okay. So just go to the channel and you may see something interesting other than the Blue Cup in the Attic videos. Some of the videos will have descriptions, some won't. Some will have just descriptions and won't have contact information. But what I'm doing is going over the videos just to give you a fair warning. It's going to look okay on the surface, but when you start clicking videos, you may see description later and nothing else but the video. So I'm going over the descriptions, etc., to make sure I said what I meant to say in the video. I do make mistakes, and if it's not too bad, I will go ahead and post it up and just say, I'll let them know what I meant to say. Is she dead or alive? You guys, one of the purposes of gang stalking females, not gang stalking females, like females that gang stalk, but one of the purposes of gang stalkers stalking females is for sex trafficking. The woman has no clue. I'm a victim of that. I know in my heart. Got followed by a van, as I've mentioned in previous, the Blue Cup in the Attics. Got followed for 2 days. It was about time for it to happen. And I got away the first time. As I mentioned in other videos, I couldn't tell you where I was if my life depended on it. But this I remember is the second attempt. I remembered 2 days prior or 1 day prior that they tried to do it the day before. Unmarked white van. Newer van. No windows. Everywhere that I went, this is the second attempt. And they were right behind each other, either a day apart or 2 days apart. Didn't even know this van was following me, had followed me, obviously, to the gas station. And I got gas and got ready to get back on the freeway, making a little semi-loop. And looked up in my rearview mirror. And I'm going to tell you that's something I've been doing since my very first vehicle. Ladies, learn to look in your rear view mirror at all times, not just when it's important. Okay. And I tested the driver, got in another lane, they'd get in another lane, got in this lane, they'd get in this lane. So as soon as I got ready to approach an exit, I made the decision to turn into Evel Knievel, you guys. Look him up. He was a motorcycle stunt driver. Very famous back in the 70s. And what I did was made sure I was the only one out of both vehicles that could exit off of that freeway where I did. I waited until the very last seconds and swerved over. Not hard, but not soft either. Swerved over just in time, and they almost turned that van over because they had to keep on going. They could not get on that exit ramp like I could and did. Hadn't been an attempt since then. Once you realize you've been attempted and you succeed in getting away, that's a wrap in most cases. Okay? And I'm sure they are fully aware that they will have a fight on their hands. I have been waiting on it. I used to crack my knuckles, you guys, and I want so bad until I found out that cracking your knuckles makes your knuckles bigger, and I stopped doing it. But I'm going to tell you, if I could crack my knuckles right now, I would. I can, but I'm not. I'm just waiting on that day, if it ever happens. Okay. So, like I said, one of the things that one of the reasons why women are spied on, especially to my degree, is sexual. Also to steal information. This person, it's a multi-purpose thing with me. I have a lot of information. I can help 10 people start a business right now just from you stealing my information. You know what I'm saying? Multiple reasons, and as well as trying to get me into sex trafficking, even at my age, you guys. Okay. It's all about what perverts want to see you. And here's the deal. I had, you guys, please join the channel. This is not the end. I was about to say something else, and then I thought about, don't forget to do the blue cup in the attic on that. And I'm not going to tell you what that is, but it will come back around to me. I'm going to let it go right now. But I almost lost my life in my apartment. It has nothing to do with what I'm talking about right now, but I have to make little mental notes within my works. But just remember the ladder. Or, well, you guys don't have to remember, but I do. I was really talking to you guys then, but the ladder. I will be doing the blue cup in the attic on the ladder. Ladder. Yeah. Yeah. Someone let me borrow a ladder, and I did not lock it up in the closet. I left it sitting in the hallway when I left, or up against, and not necessarily in the hallway, but let me see. Was it right before you get into the hallway or right after going into the hallway? Either way, I can see that ladder right now, the ladder itself. And if you guys had have seen what condition this ladder was in when I fell back off of it, yet it was in mint condition. I literally fell back on my back from the top of a ladder. The top that you can, the very top that you can go to. I literally fell back, and there was nothing wrong with that ladder, you guys. I wasn't unbalanced or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I had just gone up. I was finally able to go up into my attic. Keep up with the blue cup in the attic, you guys. I wasn't able to go up there initially, and then I was finally able to go up and had gone up. Okay, so I'm not going to go into detail. Just please look forward to that one. Yeah. I clearly remember the person who did that, and I'm not going to say what that is, being scolded very loudly, or semi-loudly, where I heard it. So, yeah, I almost lost my life, you guys, in my apartment. And guess what? I would have been dead probably someday, so a very long time, because I didn't have a roommate. They definitely wouldn't have came in to see what was going on, because that would have been obvious. How did you guys know she was in there? And, you know, I would have been dead. They would have smelt my body, literally, and would have known. But they would have known what happened, but they wouldn't have never said anything. So, is she dead or alive? You guys, please don't get it twisted. And I have to say something, and I've said this before. For those of you who are not technical, you have never, there was a lady, and I just had to basically confront her, because I know from day one that she was in disbelief. She lives here in the apartment complex I live in, that I was being spied on. She gives me this look when I'm talking about it. I'm very familiar with her sister, and her sister believes and understands and has since moved. She, on the other hand, has never gotten on the internet, but even though she plays games and she doesn't even realize she's on the internet, when she goes to something she goes to, from what I understand. But to get on the internet, never been on a website, you guys. But she wants to, because of the stuff she said to me, she wants to basically think that this is not happening to me. You guys, targeted individuals, when you find people who are not technical, or they're semi-technical, they may know how to turn on a computer, but they really don't know the ins and outs of a computer. Leave them alone with what's going on with you. There's different levels of experience when it comes to computers and things like that, and there's just certain people that you just have to leave alone, because you should already know where that's going to go. These are the ones who either don't have any. I could not believe that this woman had never been supposedly on the internet, and I don't even have an email address. Or, you guys, I am yawning. I'm very sleepy, but no technical nothing, anything. Then you have people who, they have a phone, they know how to send text messages. I know someone like this. They know they're not techie, but they know how to maneuver their phone and take pictures and all that, but still not technical enough to understand how this is absolutely possible with the high-tech cameras. I just went in my bathroom and looked up at the ceiling and realized, already knew, but realized if I stared long enough, and I was right, I stared long enough to the point where the person that was watching me had basically no choice but to move and make a sound, because they didn't know if I could actually see them looking right in their direction while they are above my head looking down at me. I said above my head looking down at me. Boy, the things a stare will get you. So when a woman has been stalked, she has no clue in most cases that she's about to get kidnapped, and that she's wondering, how did this happen? If because Black African women are mostly the ones that are stalked and spied on in these types of situations, you have to keep in mind that across this country, when little girls become missing, little teenage girls are all of a sudden missing, and I clearly remember, can't think of their name at all, but I clearly remember. You guys, I love kids, and I'm almost in tears. I couldn't get this little girl's face if the good Lord came down right now and said, Kimmy, how did that little girl look? I just know she was a little girl. She was a teenager. And it's not just her, 27-year-old woman missing, 13-year-old teenager, as mentioned, missing out of the blue. Where is she? Familiar places. They're missing from familiar places. Okay. And what I mean by that is this. When you have cameras on you, cameras are on you. You don't know, most people. You don't know the cameras are on you. And I hope a lot of people listen to this. This is not for any particular group or person, but we're targeted, okay? Gang stalked, group stalked, which are the same thing. Okay? Electronically stalked. And a lot of these girls are missing all across this country because they were being watched the whole time. When they take a bath, and not just girls, women, when they take a bath, I mean, just you're just on camera. You're on candid camera. Every single, from picking your nose, digging in your butt, getting a bite out of your butt, or whatever you do. And I want to say my whatever, but this is not the time. Whatever you do, you are being spied on 24 hours a day. If you are really wanted, you're definitely being spied on 24 hours a day, because they're going to have not just cameras in certain places, cameras all over your apartment, your place. Normally, these are apartments where this happens. Unless you've invited some idiot in to repair something in your home or a home. Okay? And you weren't paying attention. You went into a whole different room. You guys, the little girls, especially, I feel for all of them. And like I said, this is mostly Black African women. They're doing this too, because in other countries, Black African women are revered as the most beautiful women on the planet. We are. No bragging. We are. It's just in America that seems to not be true. And so, but there's no access to us in most countries. And so, organized crime. And that little girl, can you imagine how many men have had sex with her? Mom is probably just gray-haired right now because she feels she's lost all hope of ever finding her daughter again. And you know what? She probably will never see her again. Because once they get used up, men don't want them anymore. They kill them. You know? So, in this, the Blue Cup in the Attic, I will be giving you a lot of scenarios of whether she is dead or not, and I will go into detail of what that means. When you're kidnapped, you guys, or when a person is kidnapped, one of the goals of the pervs, and I call them pervs, and I'm not talking about perps. I call perps pervs, but they're really perps. But I'm saying, in this case, the people at the top, the pervs, short for perverts. When a woman, girl, whatever, is kidnapped, she's kidnapped because she was on familiar grounds. She was watched her move, what time she goes to school, when she takes anything that she did in her place. She was watched from bedroom to bathroom to kitchen, back to kitchen. This is what I'm going through right now. But I'm going to say it again. Unbelievable, unbelievable how evil some people can be. I mean, I'm talking, I, I know there's evil on the planet, but for someone to be this freaking evil. And I'm talking about the people above me. around me. I, y'all, you guys, if you only knew how much I just thank the Lord for making me whom I am, because two reasons. I wouldn't want to be that way, but more importantly, I want to go to heaven. I do not want to burn in hell because of something that I did. And here's the deal. It's witchcraft. Spells are on them, because who would want to go to hell? You know what you're doing is wrong, and you know you're watching that person's every move, but you continue to do it. You file charges. You file charges on them. They still do the same thing. That's witchcraft. They have spells on them. I know that these people have gone out to meet my former neighbors, or either out in public or somewhere over in the vicinity where I used to live. The lady next door to me was a witch. Organized crime. They have parties and do all this and try to take them all out to eat and do all this crazy stuff. A good thing, but crazy. So back on track. These women have been watched. So when the 13-year-old little girl goes to practice at school, someone knew that she waited for her mom on the side of the building. Wait for me on the side of the building so we can just go ahead and hit the freeway so I don't have to turn around. Works perfect. But someone else knew that, watching her from across the street all the time before the mom gets there, following them home. You women have no freaking clue. Do not look at me like I'm crazy and have lost my freaking mind. A lot of you women don't even know you're being spied on. You have no clue because you're all that in a freaking bag of chips, or you feel like it's just not happening. It just doesn't cross your mind. And one of the defense mechanisms that a lot of women will do is say it's not happening to you. Or, I'm glad it's not happening to me. But in actuality, that's the defense mechanism. They don't know. They don't know. And so they'll say it's not happening to you, because if they get in their mind it's not happening to you, it can't possibly be happening to them. The fear factor that it's possible, that it's true. So they'll try to cover it up, No, I know no one's in my apartment. Or whatever. No one's been in my apartment. I just talked to a lady, and I've been talking to this lady. I volunteer to pass out food, and or I did. I'm not going to do that anymore because my scheduling and everything. I'm trying to move, and like right now, above my head, I'm sitting on the floor. As soon as I put my feet down, you can hear the people above me moving right above my head. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, this lady revealed to me, and I've been seeing her like weekly, every once a week. And at the end of the month, twice a week, twice. And she said, yeah, I had to move out of my apartment. And my friend had moved her. I knew he had moved this lady, but I didn't know this was why. This lady, those apartments, and she pointed in a direction of apartments I'd never heard of, and I was like, yeah, what's going on with them? Not yeah, like, yeah, I know what apartments, but yeah, like, keep it moving. I want to hear this. And she said that when she would come home, the owner of the apartments and the maintenance guy sometimes would be in her apartment. Or one time she came home and somebody had their shoes off sitting on her couch, and blah 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 blah, and she confronted them. She had to move. You guys, that woman was being watched. I told her, you were being watched. big butt, you know what I'm saying? Big round booty, that's an attractant for a lot of these perverts. And I don't have the biggest butt on the planet, but I have one. If you got a, not saying you have to have a butt. I'm just saying a lot of the women that are also a lot of the women that are being stalked and tracked and all that have some type of booty. Let me say that. You know, not saying they're the only ones, but they do. So this little girl, to go back, gets kidnapped by this guy, and he was asking her a general question. Yeah. She didn't know when that van pulled up to on the side of the school. This is after school. She had to stay after school. Most of the kids are gone. As a matter of fact, all the kids are gone basically. Mom's running a little late. She's 15 minutes already behind, but the little girl is confident. She just talked to her. I'm on my way. There's traffic. They've hacked into the mom's phone, so they know there's traffic, so she can't come and rescue her or just pop up, even though she's on her way. Perfect scenario, you guys. This is a perfect scenario. So when they heard that phone call and heard that conversation, it was on. They were already going to kidnap her that day anyway. But when they knew that the kids were out of school, these people are analytical, you guys. They analyze everything. Kids are out of school. After school is over. After school program is over. After school sports, rather, is over. Teachers are gone. Probably one or two teachers in the parking lot. We're on the side of the building, not in the front of the building. And her mom is in traffic. Perfect scenario, you guys. This van, as the one I mentioned, comes up to her door side, and one guy, just one guy, looks normal, and he's on the driver's side, and this is the passenger side. He lets the window down and asks her a question. Excuse me, have you seen my son? He's got on blah blah blah. Next thing you know, that door opens up and she's been kidnapped. Two guys get out and grab her, pick her up off the ground and put her in the van. She's gone, baby. Babies, she's gone. Gosh. The parent. Whew. You guys, I am so trying to hold back my tears. That quick, she's gone. Forever. Can you imagine? That mom gets there. Where are you? And the phone's ringing, the phone's ringing, the phone's ringing, and here we go. Is she dead or alive? Now, in this scenario, this is not going to work because the little girl's 13. She's gone. But an adult, 27. Same scenario. She just happens to be. She goes to the library every Tuesday and Thursday to work on her business stuff. She's building a business. Everything's going great. They know what she's doing. They're spying in her phone, hacking in her phone. They know all of her business plans, and she's talking on the phone, and she went to go register the business, and they're in the parking lot. They listen. Be quiet, you guys. Be quiet about what you're doing. Please, 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 please. Shut up. Don't post it on social media. Don't post it. And I just created a collection. And I'll get back to the 27-year-old. I had 33 collections. And even on the text for this video will say 33 collections. Well, I'll change it for this video. But this week, I created a new collection, the 34th collection. And it's called Then Go. And then it says encouragement for you just have to go to it. It's on the Google platform. Think Then Go. Basically videos and posts and videos and pictures of encouraging words and encouragement and enthusiasm from people who had to struggle, and and giving tips on if you want to start a business, and anything encouraging. And there's a lady, Spanx. That's not her name. I can't think of her name right now, but she created a company called Spanx, SPANX. And I'm going to tell you now, if you're creating something and it has to have a name, make sure it's a groovy name, because it's called branding. Coca-Cola. Think about it. What in God's creation was a Coca-Cola? Xerox. Okay. That sounds like a something that a brand, Coca-Cola. Oh man. Windex. You go to the store, you don't say get me some window cleaner, you say get me some Windex. Regardless of brand. Pampers. You gotta go get me, bring me a pamper. I clearly remember telling my son, bring me a pamper, and it could have been Huggies. And he was a little boy, to change my daughter's diaper. Bring me a pamper. Branding. And so one of the encouraging things is that she mentions in the video, which I posted on the page, and the collection. It's a collection, by the way. She mentions that she had $5,000 in the bank. She was working for a copy company. She worked for someone, and she had $5,000. She never borrowed any money from anyone, and she started her business. But one of the things she said was that she never, for a whole year, she never told anyone what she was doing. Not her husband. I think she said her husband, and not anyone. She kept her thoughts to herself. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, because of all the spying and stuff that's going on, even though she created the company some years ago, had she probably opened her mouth, got on the phone and started talking and telling people, maybe even bragging a little bit about what she was going to do, and just geeked out of her mind, she wouldn't have that company right now, because they would have pulled it right from up under her. As a matter of fact, she did. She don't get me wrong, look it up. She sued a major lingerie company, which I could be sitting really pretty right now, because they did me the same way that they did her, and something similar. I didn't pursue, the hacking in our computers. Who is this? I call them the lingerie mafia. You guys will figure out whom it is. But yeah, I'm going to look that up tomorrow. I think she had, and if there's corrections, I will post it. By the way, I mentioned I'm working on the YouTube channel. If there are corrections to a video, you will see at the very top before watching, and you will get in, and it'll tell you what to look out for. Okay, what corrections are there. But yeah, she started this business. $5,000 kept her mouth closed, and now it's $1 billion business, not million. I said billion. The B one. $1 billion, you guys. $5,000 turned to $1 billion plus. I'm sure. And so when this 27-year-old on this Thursday, she's ready for the weekend, But Tuesdays and Thursdays, she goes to the library. She set this up. Tuesdays and Thursdays, basically some free time. She goes to the library to work on her business stuff, her business plan, whatever it is. They know that. She parks in the underground parking. They know that there's no attendant between this particular time and that time. They know that She wants to park as close as possible. She's crossing her T's and dotting her I's. She wants to make sure that nothing does happen to her, that nothing happens to her. But what she doesn't realize is that there's a van, dark tinted windows, and she's not looking for it. Okay? Tinted windows doesn't matter. She's not looking for anyone to be in that van. But when they see her coming out, they start the van up when she starts her vehicle up to diffuse the sound. And a female, here we go. Not a male, but a female approaches her. Now, when the female approaches her, here's the game plan. The van has to be in motion. She's thinking that's just someone leaving. They're not together. She's here. They're over there leaving. But what she doesn't know is they've come around, and as the female's asking her a question, she looks innocent, ponytail, nothing spectacular that's obvious. She asks her a question, ma'am, do you have 25 cents? I needed to buy coffee. Now, whether she has the 25 cents or not is irrelevant because that van has approached. Okay? And those doors open up. And when the doors open up, two guys grab her and the lady gets in. And although they're in the underground parking, they had the money ready. The lift gate lifts up, lets them out. She's gone. As soon as she got in, they drugged her with, someone told me this is what they're going to do to me. I can't think of this drug now. But it's a needle. So she's sedated. As soon as she got in, she didn't even see it coming. Stuck in the arm. She's gone, you guys. But here's the deal. Is she dead or alive? Her boyfriend meets with her on Fridays. Now, they don't talk much on Thursday. They talk early that morning. I love you, blah, 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 blah. But he knows she's working on something, and contradictory to what I just said, keep quiet. And I do mean that. But she's told him she's working on business plans. Hadn't gone into detail, but he knows she's doing something. And so he doesn't talk to her later on that night and say good night or whatever. But, no, he sent her a text. Once this woman comes out of sedation and they've reached their destination and she's in a cage or something, or she's wherever she is, her phone, they're going to tell her to turn her phone on. And if her Facebook account is already there, she can easily say, I don't have a Facebook account. That's cause for getting beat up because they know you do have a Facebook account and you're lying. We're going to ask you one more time. Do you have a Facebook account? No. Now she's beat up because they know she's lying. Now she was smart. She logged out of her Facebook account. She logs out when she's finished, as you should. But they knew that she had one. Yeah, you've got a Facebook account because I'm on it. Or now they wouldn't say that, but I've seen you on it. Whatever the situation is, they don't mind revealing now that they were watching her the whole time because they know it's a done deal. She is kidnapped. And then here we go. They make her log into her Facebook account. Text messages are coming in. Hey, baby, are you okay? How you doing? I hope you had a good day. He doesn't think she's missing. She's never been missing. She's busy. She didn't respond back immediately, but it's been 2 hours. He's like, well, she's just busy. Yawning. He's sleepy. They're going to make her send a text message, or they're going to send a text message saying, "Oh, I'm okay." Oh, gosh. I hope you had a good day. Because she's going to be hauled off tomorrow to the actual destination of where she's supposed to go. And let me say this, sex trafficking can occur right here in these here United States. There's a perception that the person has to be taken across the border, across land, across these here United States, if you reside in the United States, in order for it to be sex trafficking. That is the biggest lie ever been told. Most people or people that are kidnapped are usually within a 10-mile radius of where they were kidnapped. Let me say that again. Most people, or in a lot of cases, the person that is kidnapped is within a 10-mile radius of where they were kidnapped. Like the guy who, I don't know if it was 10 miles, 20 miles, but the Hispanic dude that had kidnapped those 3 girls, and they had grown up and everything, and I think 1 or 2 of them got pregnant by him, and he committed suicide when in prison. Gosh, man, thank you for doing that and committing suicide. We all thank you. But he had them kidnapped for years, like 13 years. 13 years? Who does that? Who sits up, like in my case, it's been 2 years. Who sits up and watches someone in their apartment? Evil, sadistic, non-God-fearing, witchcraft believing and doing satanic people. Now, mom is trying to get in touch with her. It's been 2 days. Her boyfriend's like, have you heard from her? Because I went and knocked on her door 2 or 3 times today and nothing. Ring. Hello. Where have you been? Blah, 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 blah. Hi, Mom. How are you? Well, it's about time you called me. Blah, 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 blah. She's going to get scolded and she's going to listen. She has no choice. But she's going to hurry up and get off that phone before. Mom, I got to go. I have to go. She didn't call on her own accord. Well, she called, but it's scripted. They're right there with a gun up to her temple or a knife on her, and they're telling her to talk to her mother as if she is still, as if she's okay. Now, probably won't talk to the boyfriend because these are really jealous-hearted perverts. They don't care about him. He's just going to have to worry, think that it's over. She broke up with me, blah, 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 blah. No. They're not going to let her talk to him because she's going to start crying and, But she doesn't want her, we're going to hurt your family. So she doesn't want her mom hurt. And so she talks to her. You guys, these scenarios can go on for 2 or 3 years. All in an attempt, three or more years, I meant to say, all in an attempt on social media, on her social media account. She's posting, well, let me finish, all in an attempt to make you think that person is either still alive or still around or both. Once they kill her, they're going to, even before they kill her, in some cases, they will just come up with an idea. They're all in there laughing, thinking things are funny, and they see her phone, and here's the deal: they're going to pay that phone bill. They're going to pay that phone bill because if that phone ever gets turned off, something's really wrong. Then they have no way of getting that's the panic button. So they're going to pay their phone bill. Organized crime, they have the money to do it. $60 is nothing for them because they're making money way more than that off of her. She's paying for her phone bill. She can't use it, but she's paying for it. They're going to get on that phone. They're all, satanic. They're in there having their man talk, laughing and stuff, and which one of them just had sex with her and did anal sex or whatever they did to her. Yeah, it's funny. They're going to see her phone and they're going to pick it up and they're going to get on Facebook. But what they do before they get on Facebook is make her straighten her face up. She's fixing to take a picture. White wall background. And she better smile. You guys, this is sad. She's been missing, but no one even knows that she's missing. They have no clue. She's on Facebook. She's smiling. I wonder what she's acting weird. That's the only thing you're going to get out of that is that she's acting weird. She may not even be alive. Because the picture was taken, even though they've gone in and changed the date or did, I don't know. But the picture, if you're not smart, you're not going to check to see what the date is on that picture. Okay? They took several pictures, different clothes, just in case, they had to have some backups. And this is all in an attempt, as I was mentioning earlier, to keep it going, to keep themselves from getting arrested, keep themselves out of trouble as long as possible. Give them time to get out of the country, etc., because she's not the only victim. Her family and friends just don't know where to turn to because, why would they? They think she's alive. And that's if she's dead. If she's alive, usually the younger girls, men want to have sex with them. They're going to do the same thing. She's on her Facebook account, social media account. Let me say that, doesn't matter. Instagram, you guys know she's on Instagram and she's posting pictures. She's okay. And she's got 50-some likes. And she looks hideous, basically. But no one knows what's going on because there she is in the flesh. Photo. You guys be careful and stop taking stuff for granted. One of the things that is heaviest on my heart is how I meet people and I know at that moment common sense is not so common. People that you would believe had something going on for them, But as soon as you tell them this, that, and the other, you be careful, blah 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 blah. Come and they don't have any common sense. Like they don't even question how is that possible. It just sounds foreign to them, and so they back away from it without questioning. Yeah, I just gave you 2 scenarios, you guys, and they were as real as possible. It's going to go like that, or it's going to go something similar to that. And this can go on, like I said, for 3 or more years because even though she's distanced, quote unquote, herself from people, she is still responding. She's nowhere to be found, you guys. Bones broken, everything's skull buried somewhere in someone's backyard or whatever the situation may be. She's gone, but to you, she's alive. And that's all that matters is that she's alive. Dad talking to daughter in college. I'm going to come see you. No, no, no. No more text. No more text. No more, no more. No, 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 no. I don't, no pictures. Dad, I'm posting my pictures on Facebook. I'm okay. This is the perverts pretending they're her. He's adamant, though. He's not having it. He hadn't seen his daughter in 2 years. It's just ridiculous. Your grades, you know. And I see your grades, thank you, or that, you know, or I mean, not her grades, you know, that he hasn't contacted the school or anything, because he's talking to her. He sees her on Facebook. She's alive. But this dad right here does not play. I'm coming to see you. You missed the holiday. You missed Thanksgiving. You're probably going to say you can't be around for Christmas. So let me come see you, Dad. No, this is them responding back. No, Dad, I'm okay. No, too bad. I already got your address. Woo. You know, he already had it. She'd been in her apartment, 6 months maybe? He had her address. Dad gets on that plane. Dad goes and knocks on that door, and that's when management reveals to him, yeah, my daughter, I'm looking for my daughter, you know, and someone else is answering the door. Wait a minute. I visited my daughter. I helped her move here. Who are you guys? We live here. We've been living here for like 3 months, 4 months, 2 months, 2 months. But how is that? Where's my daughter? Text. I'm here. Did you move? You didn't tell me you were moving. No response. No response to that text. No response to the next text. No response, rather. None. Matter of fact, Dad has gone back home because he's trying to figure out. He has to go to work, whatever, about to retire. But he comes back and he's on a mission because when he sent that text about her not answering her door, new people in her apartment, what's going on, he didn't get any more texts from her. He was too close. He got it. Case closed. Case open, rather, at that point. It's time to kill her. Or it's time to move her around somewhere else. You guys, if you ever get in this situation and you're wondering where a lady is or whatever, same scenario. What would you do? You're contacting her. She's responding back, although, you know, it's not her, but she's responding back. Tell me, what would you do? I'm going to see if you guys are going to figure it out. What would you do to make her reveal whether it's really her or if she is dead or alive? And I know that sounds really crazy. If you're dead, you can't respond, but you understand what I'm saying. What would you do? You're sending texts back and forth and they're short-lived. So the next time you don't talk to her the next day, but okay, I'm going to talk to her again or text her again. We're going to communicate. What would you do to make her reveal that it is really her and not some imposter? Now, you have visited her apartment. Someone else is living there. She never told you she was moving, but she's responding back to these texts. You're scratching your head because something is not right. She would never move and not tell me she moved. Why would she move? She had a year's lease. I'm the co-signer on that lease. What would you do? I don't know what you would do, but this is what you should do. Start sending, when you text back, okay, you've got her. She's texting, I'm okay, that I'm okay crap. You say, you know what? I'm fixing to send you, no, don't say I'm fixing to send you, just send them. Here's 3 questions I need you to answer. 3 or 4. That's your choice. I need you to answer these questions. These are questions and that only you and I would know the answer to. What was your grandmother's name? Or what was your grandmother's last name? She's deceased. So really hadn't been talking about her grandmother when she was still in her place, you know. Hadn't had much of a reason. Dad never mentioned her. So this is a safe question. Favorite food? Not going to work. She was talking to her best friend. You know, I had blah, 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 blah. You know, that's my favorite food. Not going to work. Not going to work. What was your first vehicle? Just like the questions on the email, you know, to verify your email, verify your social media account. What was your first vehicle and what color was it? Last question. You won an award in the 6th grade. What was that award for? Now, here's the deal. She's alive, okay? They're going to make her answer those questions. And guess what? Sadly, she's going to answer them correctly the first time. But what you do, you come back at her again the next time you guys are communicating. I've got some more questions. You got to go into the questions. You can't say that back and forth stuff. I got to ask you some questions and wait for a response. I got some more questions. Because you've been acting funny. Hey, we went on a trip when you were 7 years old. Where did we go? On that trip, you caught something on your fishing rod. What was it? Now, she could be truthful, but hold on. They're going to think, oh, she caught a fish. It's not. No. It wasn't a fish. She caught a starfish. Only she and her dad would know that. Your little brother that died at birth, right after birth, what was his birthday? Now, here's the deal. First time she told the truth on every answer, but something's still not right. If you're smart, you're going to ask questions more than once. You're going to ask questions 3 or 4 times. They're thinking she's giving the correct answers at this point. Okay? Because you're like, yeah, okay, well, that's good the first time, you know. Second time, when she goes back into her cage or when she goes back into captivity, wherever she is, she's going to think about how stupid it was that she gave the correct answers to those questions and think that they'll never ask me questions again because I answered them. I'm doomed. But be smart, you guys. If you're looking for someone, never stop asking these questions. Ask them because your goal and hope is that she eventually starts answering them wrong on purpose. Okay? Your goal is that she eventually starts answering them wrong. When she starts answering them wrong, that's when you know, okay, she's kidnapped. And you can even respond back and say, yeah, that's the correct answer. That will let the both of you know that you're on the same page. Because she knows that you know that is not the correct answer. And that's when you go looking for her. Okay? So, once again, you guys, be careful when someone is missing. Something's not right. If something's not right, it's not right. It is not right. Okay? It just may be the difference between life or death. Because if she answers those correct, if she answers each one of them, especially on the third set, she's giving you some answers. And see, that are incorrect. And here's the deal. You're not going to think that it's her. They've given her the phone. You're going to think that it's the perpetrators because they've given her the phone. They've given her the phone to answer because they're thinking she's going to give the right answers. You, on the other hand, are thinking that it's them answering because the answers are wrong. Mission accomplished. That's when you go into super speedy mode to try to find out where she is. At that point, you guys can give each other clues. You can ask the question. When we went on that trip, one more question. Was it sunny outside? What type of weather was it? If she's smart, she's going to give you a clue as to what region she's in, or if it's cold, if she knows this where she is. If it's hot, where she is. Well, Dad, you don't know. She can play. You don't know. You remember it was hot. Knowing dang on well, the whole time you guys were there, it was 54 degrees. Yeah, that's how you do that. All the while, Dad's pulling back a little bit. He's pissed off because he knows something is going on. She's been kidnapped. Something's wrong. My daughter would never answer these questions. He's got an investigator. But here's the deal. He keeps staying in contact with her. He said, every time I text you, he's going to text her. Every time I text you, I'm going to ask you a question because I want to know what's going on. You are acting really weird. You guys put your acting caps on and your acting caps on so to if this were to happen. And just keep coming up with questions. Eventually you're going to know something. Do you remember the initials? What were the initials of your best friend? She's overheard them talking and saying each other's name. J. H. Knowing full well, the both of you, it was B. O. Okay. You guys just be careful. And before I go, in my last apartment, right across from me was, of course, a building. And I knew the guys across, amongst other people who were spying on me. Female there as well. 2 females, as a matter of fact. And I remember coming home one day, and one of the perpetrators, 3 of them were outside. And one of the guys asked another perpetrator, why do you keep messing with her, or something like that? He responds, oh, I just like effing with her. You put the word in there, I'm trying to refrain from cursing, so I'm not going to say. I just like effing with her. One day here, I already knew they followed me over here. That was a done deal. But one day here, on my way up to the front, and when I say the front, you guys will realize, if you've been hanging around long enough, that I mean going up to the front office. Usually I'm going to be at the front, online, on my phone, or in the office if they're open, and a combination of either or, or both, or a combination of both throughout the day. And on my way to the office, walking down the sidewalk, I hear these 2 guys talking. I hear voices, rather. I look up, no shocker, 2 men on the balcony talking. Black African dude and a Mexican dude, or one of Hispanic descent, let me say that. I keep walking, never skip a beat. But I hear the Black African guy mumble something, couldn't decipher what it was, but his response The Hispanic guy was this, I just like effing with her. You guys, that's a rapist. First of all, I just like effing with her. You followed her all the way over here and you just like effing with her. Really, dude? And when he said that, they both laughed really hard. But the Mexican Hispanic dude, or the dude of Hispanic descent, laughing harder than the Black African dude. Because I looked at him. That's how I knew they were Hispanic and Black African, because once he started mumbling something and he said, I just like effing with her, I looked up at him. And that's when they started laughing. And I just kept walking and shook my head like sad, you know. Anyone who does this to someone is not just out looking for a good time, you know. So be careful. And although there was something else I wanted to tell you guys, it leaves me right now about about kidnapping and all of that, and is she dead or alive? It's very critical that you use your senses if you know of someone that may be missing, and try to come up with a way, especially if they're supposedly communicating with you. Back off. Don't say anything. Well, I'm not going to talk to you anymore and blah, 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 blah. Especially if you're sensing something is wrong. Don't say that, because that's detrimental. Your heart is already broken. And when you say something like that, I'm not going to talk to you again because you moved and you didn't tell me you were moving and blah, 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 blah. No, don't do that. Because at least they have an inkling of hope when they are in contact with you. But if you say something like that, you've just killed it for them. And because you mean it. You know, I'm not going to talk to you. Blah, 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 blah. That's great for them, the perpetrators, because they don't want you guys communicating anyway. Communication off. In other words, you told me you didn't want to talk to me anymore, so I turned my phone off. You know, blah, 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 blah. I changed my phone number. She changed her phone number. I told her I didn't want to talk to her anymore. She changed her phone number. No, she didn't. It's off. Why would they pay that bill when you made the statement that you did not want to talk to her anymore? Perfect timing. So this is Kimmy Wyatt. You guys, work on this. I mean, everything is not always what it seems, you know, on the surface. It's not. Your co-workers, you know, I'm without going into detail. Everyone is not innocent, you guys, the way they seem. Everyone is not innocent like the way they seem. And the goal is to throw off anyone who's trying to come in and change what they have going on. Organized crime. Anyone who comes in and tries to put a wrench in what they've created. Kidnapping, sex trafficking, group stalking, electronic stalking, gang stalking. Ooh-wee. Why are you doing that? You're the bad guy. We're going to make sure they know you're the bad guy. You try to throw them off. And it works, sadly, in most cases. So, hasta la vista, buenas tardes, buenas noches, arrivederci, au revoir, salida. Don't let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you. Ciao Bella, ciao Bello, gotta go, smooches, bye. And like I said, before I go, I had something to tell you guys that was pertinent to this, the Blue Cup of the Attic. And if I remember, I will post it where the video is posted. Okay? And I'm just sitting here like, 'cause I really, really do want to remember what this is before I shut this off. There is one of these that I use, a voice recorder that I can pause here for a minute actually, but there's one where I can append to the end, and I love it. This is not one of them. This is not that one. However, where I can append the end. You know, even if it's recorded and stopped. I love it. Okay, bye.